Amigos, hola, Stuart here with another video, and I've travelled to yet another town in this part of Spain, central Spain, in the Madrid community. In fact, it is the easternmost town in this autonomous community on the border with another part of the country, Castilla-La Mancha. The place is called Estremera, and we're going to take a walk around. Not sure if there's going to be much here to see or not, but we'll try to find a church, some other important buildings if there are any. So let's start the walk. And again, this is one of these towns here in Spain that tourists rarely get to see. So I'm taking you sort of behind the scenes, if you like, into the Spain that people don't often visit. Let's go. So the first thing that we are greeted with here, the sign Camino Natural del Tajo, the natural walk along the Tajo River, or the Tagus River, one of Spain's most important rivers. And we can see some of the important things to see in this town. We've got a church, obviously. We've got a cemetery, I think that is, a tunnel, an old train tunnel, the main square, and also another symbol there, Escudo de la Casa de los Martínez Adeo. No idea what that is, but we might come across it on our travels today. We're also greeted with a nice park here, some grass in the park, which is something you don't often see in this part of the country. Normally you'll just have dirt on the ground here. People don't take the time to care for grass, and a fountain in the middle. And I reckon this would be a place where the locals would come of a spring day, an autumn day when it's not too hot, and relax in this park. Let's continue the journey. And I've said it once and I'll say it again, that when you come to these towns, it's amazing how quiet they are, considering that we're only around 70 kilometers from the capital city of Spain, Madrid. And in these towns with around 1,400 people, I think, is the population here. Very, very quiet, except for some drills that are going on in the background there because they're doing some renovation works. Now I've spotted down here some type of map, a tourist map, as we can see there, Plano Turístico, and it tells us the different things to see in this town here. So places of interest, we've got the town hall, Casita de Niños, which is just over there. We've also got a cultural centre, we've got a pensioners place, an albergue, we've got a digital room there as well, radio biblioteca. So interesting. This is the Plano Turístico, where all of these places are. Let's go and see if we can find some of them. But again, is this a place that you would come and visit? Again, I do not know. But what I have seen is a lot of trucks or lorries going up and down this street here. Obviously the main street that takes us through the town. We'll get a look at some of the architecture in this place, some of the housing. This is how people live. 3 stories, bars on the downstairs apartment there. Obviously trying to avoid break-ins. I told you guys the story in last week's video when I came to a town not far from here about how somebody was trapped in a fire because he couldn't get out because of the bars on the windows. So that's an issue. And I think this is a town also with that 1,500 inhabitant population where there would be some bars and restaurants and things like that. Now this is interesting. So this is the old national road. This road would have taken people down to Valencia back in the day, the N3. Of course, now there's a motorway, so not many people would be coming through here. But you can see by the amount of trucks that are coming through that it is still a busy road, the N3. Now, let's continue over here. We've got some demolition work going on over there. So obviously this place is seen better days, being knocked down. We've got a spectator over there as well checking it out. And I suppose that when these buildings do get too old, they've got to come down, right? Don't know what's going to go up in its place. Maybe they'll put a new apartment block there, no idea. But the demolition works going on there. Interesting. Now, I'm going to try and find the main square. Maybe it's up here somewhere. Really, I've got no idea where I'm going, but in a town this small, I don't think it's going to be too hard to find. Let's see what we come across. So, we're getting into the older part of the town, I would say, Callejon. You can get an idea of the architecture here and why some of these places are being pulled down, get into rack and ruin. Nobody can live there anymore. They probably sit there for years, maybe a decade or so, until somebody comes along and decides to put up something new, I suppose. Now, I'm not sure if that is some type of square here. I might have to check Google Maps to see exactly where I'm going, but there could be some type of square activity here. Again, you'll notice that there's not a lot of trees. So we've got a bar over here which is shut. We've got 3 trees there. And here, this is where all the activity, the nightlife would happen. We've got a pub. We've also got a bar that's closed for holidays just over there, Bar La Perdiz. I think I saw a place last week that had exactly the same name, Pheasant Bar. And this is where they would have the weekly markets, Zona Mercadillo. So on Wednesdays, this is where the markets would be. So what's today? Thursday? So that would have been yesterday, when this area here would have been full of stalls of people that are out and about buying their fruit, buying their vegetables and things like that. Now let's continue. Don't know if I'm going in the right direction to find the main square or other points of interest. But again, how quiet is this? Nothing around. Now this is another town in this part of the country that struggles to maintain population. I think I said it's around 1,400, maybe 1,500 people. There probably would have been a heyday, not sure how long ago, when there would have been more people here, when agriculture was more important. But of course, the agricultural sector changes. People can't find work in places like this. And even getting to and from these places is not easy. They're not well connected. We're not far away from the motorway, the main motorway, and also that national road that takes us through, but not many people willing to take those older roads to get where they need to go nowadays. So getting to and from these places is not easy, but yeah, it is what it is. Now we'll continue the search for the main square. There's a restaurant down there which is closed. We've also got a butcher shop there. And to my right is the main square. Let's have a look. So we've got the flags up there, the European flag, the Spanish flag. What else have we got? The Madrid flag as well. And another flag, maybe the local village flag or town flag, not sure. And this is the town hall building with the arches, the Casa Consistorial. We've also got a bus stop. We've got a bank. And this is the main square. And if I'm not mistaken, the building behind those trees there, let's check it out, would be the church. There we go. So this is the main square in the village here. Fairly fancy town hall, I will say. And the fact that we've got a bank here also tells us something about the population, because a lot of the towns that I've been traveling to recently don't even have a bank. Maybe there's a hole in the wall, an ATM, but nothing else. And some of the architecture that we've got going on here, I think that house in front of us is abandoned, or at least they haven't got up yet because the shutters are down. The shutters are down on that one there too. Looks newer, looks as though it's been done up. Not sure when, but probably in the last 20 years. And here we have the church. We've got some locals congregating over here outside a type of shop. And let's see what this sign says here. Plaza Agor, y lugar para el encuentro y la paz, para el ocio y la diversión, donde el pueblo y sus autoridades caminen juntos por los senderos de la justicia, el progreso y la libertad. We've also got the date there when they would have done this area up, because it is an important part of the town. This is where everything would happen in the town. When they have the local festivities, people would flock to this part of the town. We've also got places where people can sit down. We've got a shop over there, as I said before, where people are drinking beers. It's just gone 12 o'clock, 12 noon, so people are cracking open the beers and doing other things as well. So the importance of these areas in these towns significant. Now the entrance to the church seems to be closed, so I'm going to have to go around the back and see if there's another one, or maybe some way up there. No, not sure what that building is. So let's go for a walk around the back and see if it is indeed open or not. It's an impressive building, and again, a lot of these towns, there's not much going on from an architectural point of view, but the churches with the stonework are normally quite spectacular, as this one is. So we'll go for a walk up here and see if there's another access to the church, or whether it's closed as well. So it is closed. So we've got Mass from Monday to Thursday, 7 p.m, Saturdays and also just before holidays at 8 p.m, Sundays and holidays at 1 o'clock. So an impressive building, and like with many churches here in Spain, most likely not in their heyday currently, as the Spanish population is not overly religious, maybe for funerals, maybe for weddings, maybe you'll get the odd person coming here for the daily mass, but the younger generations here in Spain, not overly religious. Or at least that has been my experience with the people that I know here in Spain. They're not going to mass anymore like their parents or grandparents or great-grandparents used to do back in the day. Another important building in the town, the local police station, the civil guard, with the Spanish flag up there as well. And we'll turn the camera around because we're getting into the older part of the city, of course. Here we can see the buildings. We've got a pharmacy over there, the light flashing. We've also got a Spanish flag up there, people showing their patriotism. We've also got that emblem up there as well, obviously some significance to somebody, and the narrower streets in this part of the town. And this is where the abandonment starts, I think. These places, I imagine, are not occupied. This one here wouldn't be as well. And again, why that is the case, I don't know. Maybe the people that were living here have passed away. The people that have inherited the property maybe maintain it for the summer months, maybe for holiday periods. Again, don't know. But all of the shutters are down in this part of the town. Interesting. And another thing that I need to mention in this area is that there is a prison very, very close by that shares its name with this town, Estremera, and some of Spain's most notorious criminals are most likely in that prison, which is not near the town, I don't think. It's probably around 5 or 6 kilometers away from here. Don't quote me on the exact distance, but when you mention the name Estremera, a lot of people, the first thing that will come to mind is the prison, and not necessarily the town with the same name. Now here's another important place in the town for the locals, another bar. We've got some people there that are doing some paperwork or whatever, not sure exactly what they're doing. One of the locals here passing me by right now. We'll head down here because I want to show you guys the outskirts of this town. And when you come to these small towns, the outskirts are never far away. And we can see just down the end of the street here that the town limits are upon us. Calle del Matadero. So that would be the abattoir, Matadero, where they kill animals. Calle del Matadero. Not sure if there is a matadero or an abattoir down there still, or whether it closed down years ago. Somebody's mobility pusher there. And again, we're coming down into an area where all of the shutters are down, so you can get an idea of the abandonment in this town as well, which seems to be a common theme in the towns that I have been visiting. And again, I'll say it, we are close to Spain's biggest city, Madrid. 3.5 million people, housing problems, and then you come here and you're in a different world. So, town limits. This is the view that you get from here. And a bit of a drop down there, I will say. People have thrown their rubbish over the edge here. People that don't want to deal with their own rubbish or having to dispose of it properly, down there it goes. And we can also see the fields that are common in this part of Spain as well. Agriculture still happening here. We've got a cemetery over there. As you can see, there's somebody visiting the cemetery currently. And again, the fields. And this is a town that would be dominated by the river that I mentioned earlier, the Tagus River, one of Spain's most important rivers, which works its way past this town on its way to Portugal, where it goes out into the Atlantic Ocean. Again, not sure on the exact distance of the river from this town, but it does play an important role because of the agriculture. As I said, on the way in, you come across lots of fields that have produce growing, obviously being irrigated by that river. I'll try and find my way back to the car. Not sure where I have parked it, but these places are not very big, so it's never too far away. Let's go for a walk down here, and hopefully this will lead us back to where the vehicle's parked. We've got the resident cat population, 1, 2, 3, 4 cats I can spot. They're all fleeing when they see the camera. There they go, under the gate there. But they're having a wonderful time in this town. And basically, they're alone. There's one up there in the window. Another 2 went under a door here, I think. So they're having a great time, enjoying themselves. No one around. Only a foreigner with a camera being pointed at them. No wonder they scrambled. So another quiet town here in the Madrid community, 70 kilometers from the capital city, and you would think you're on another planet. And I will say that the reaction from the locals in places like this, you either get friendly locals that say, good morning, how are you, or good afternoon, or you get people that look at you strangely and probably say to themselves, what is this person doing here? Now in front of us here we have a new construction. Doesn't seem to be anybody living in there yet, so probably still being built or needs to have the finishing touches put on it. But we can see there that this building, probably one of the newer buildings in the town, as with all of those ones there. So maybe they ran out of money when they got to this one, not sure. But anyway, that is a mystery that I will probably never find the answer to. Never mind. So on that note, I'm going to wrap this video up from the town of Estremera in the Madrid community on the border with Castilla-La Mancha. As I said, the province of Cuenca, just literally a couple of kilometers away. And yeah, it's been an interesting walk around today. Not much to see here, but then again, I wasn't expecting to see much. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. If you have anything to add to the conversation today, please, the comment section is the place for you. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it, thumbs down if you didn't. I'll see you in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so that you never miss a video when I publish it. Until the next one, hasta luego from Estremera.